And welcome back, everybody. So we see criminals cover up evidence in many fashions: cleaning supplies, chemicals, even burying things in the dirt. But one woman in Florida apparently chose Diet Mountain Dew. So on July 1st, someone flagged down officers in Daytona Beach to report a house fire. After firefighters put out the blaze, they found the body of 79-year-old Michael Cerasoli on the floor. Now, according to the affidavit, the victim had blunt force trauma to the back of his head and multiple stab wounds to his torso. Police discovered a bloody knife near his body and blood on the wall in his roommate's room. That roommate, 35-year-old Nicole Max, was arrested in the early hours of July 2nd at a Crystal fast food restaurant. She had blood on her leg and her shirt, which appeared torn. Police say when they approached her, she dropped a knife and hammer that she was carrying. Authorities said that Max had inconsistent accounts of what happened and requested an attorney when asked about the fire. Now here's where the Mountain Dew comes in. So when officers led Max to a squad car, she was informed that DNA would be collected from her. In response, Max asked officers for a drink, which happened to be a Diet Mountain Dew, and she proceeded to douse herself with it. Investigators claim that DNA from both parties was still found on the knife at the crime scene. Max is jailed without bond on charges of first-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and resisting arrest with violence. So, Brian, maybe the fact that it's Mountain Dew made her claim that, thinking DNA wouldn't be on her. I haven't heard that one before.
So I think it's the diet that washes it off.
It's the diet. Yes, it's the diet part.
No,
right?
I'm really confused because I think, is she trying to hide the blood by mixing the Mountain Dew in? Because in my mind, if they're trying to get DNA from her, they want her DNA. They already have the blood. And DNA, just for people out there who want to spread Mountain Dew on them, they don't get it from wiping your skin cells. It's from a buccal or buccal swab from the inside of your mouth. So I don't know what she was thinking with that, but it makes a great argument for a competency hearing or maybe an insanity defense.
Because one was ordered, right? There wasn't a competency evaluation order. Do you think that was necessary?
No, there's nothing, mentally deficient with this individual.
I don't know. Pour Mountain Dew on yourself.
You have seen where Coca-Cola is, corrosive, and they've, shown evidence of when it can destroy things. Look, I think it was faulty of her to think that the Mountain Dew would cover anything up because, like Brian said, obviously you're going to get the DNA from a buccal swab or from, blood or something else, maybe touch DNA. But here, I think what she was doing was trying to cover up. So she knew she had committed a crime. She knew she was going to try to cover that up. And, she maybe thought she could rinse it off. But I don't think there was any evidence of the fact that she was in any way mentally ill. And, to order a competency hearing, that's a lot of exposure, that's a lot of, money, and it's a lot of time and effort, and I don't think they should have done it here.
What do you think?
I'm just surprised that Terry didn't say consciousness of guilt. That's her favorite criminal one.
Yeah.
This is clearly you're trying to tamper with evidence. Even if you are completely wrong, that's going to wipe it away. That would be, I would argue, consciousness of guilt, that you know there's something on you that can tie you to this murder, and you're trying to wipe it away.
Right. And you took the words right out of my mouth, Brian. Consciousness of guilt.
And because when we talk about insanity, if somebody knows what they did is illegal and knows that the police are after them, that kind of facts don't really help them that much. All right, when we come back. The man behind the Oscar-winning film The Blind Side now alleges in a court filing that he was in fact blindsided by his own family. The controversy surrounding Michael Oher's adoption. That's next. And we're finishing today's show with a story sending shockwaves through the sports world in Hollywood. Retired NFL player Michael Oher, the subject behind the Oscar-winning film The Blind Side, is setting the record straight on his own story with legal action. A petition was submitted Monday to a probate court in Shelby County, Tennessee, and it alleges that Oher's guardians, Sean and Leanne Toohey, never actually adopted him when he was a senior in high school. He claims instead they tricked him into signing conservatorship paperwork. They gave the couple legal authority to make business decisions in Oher's name. The filing also alleges that the couple used their power to strike a deal with the Blind Side movie, earning millions of dollars in royalties for the Toohey family. But Oher reportedly saw none of that money, despite the film being based on him. In a statement to TMZ Sports, the couple's attorney said the conservatorship was put in place to, quote, assist with Mr. Orr's needs, ranging from getting him health insurance and obtaining a driver's license to helping with college admissions. And should Mr. Orr wish to terminate the conservatorship, either now or at any time in the future, the Tuohys will never oppose it in any way. The attorney also said that Orr received an equal cut of anything made off of the Blind Side franchise and recently attempted to blackmail the Tuohys for $15 million. The case has a lot of moving parts, so we spoke to an attorney that helps athletes navigate the dangers of fame to get a little bit more context.
Usually the way to get a conservatorship is with some allegation that this individual, whoever it is incapable of managing their finances. So Michael Orr is alleging in his petition, I have nothing wrong with me. And I don't appreciate the way I was depicted in The Blind Side as being someone that was not of full intelligence. And he feels that that harmed his NFL career because people saw what they saw in the movies and made assumptions about him. So, you know, it's to a certain point, right? He's not alleging defamation or slander or libel, anything like that. But he is alleging that there was some element of fraud that they had to allege to get that conservatorship. So that's really your main difference. You could be an adopted member of someone's family and, you know, as an 18-year-old adopted individual or, you know, even a minor that's adopted, you can have some control over your finances. It doesn't mean that you've turned that over. Conservatorship is quite the opposite. Once the conservatorship's in place, A, it's very hard to control your finances, but B, it's very hard to get out of it. So two very different legal constructs. Generally, getting it out of a conservatorship is tough. You have to show that you are of sound mind and whatever that condition that initially placed you in the conservatorship has now passed. You know, I guess Michael Orr is saying that I have nothing to recover from. I have nothing to prove since I was put under this conservatorship under false pretenses. So that's really the debate that's going to be fought here. You know, but certainly we'll see. But yeah, that's what Michael Orr wants to do at this point, unwind the conservatorship.
And that's the part that I want to focus on. If he wants it ended and they want it ended, is this going to be quickly resolved by the court?
Well, it should, if in fact they're saying that they will end it because they know he wants it ended. I have to say, Jesse, I was a little confused as to why a conservatorship. If there's nothing wrong with him, why would they want to have a conservatorship where they're going to control all of his decisions, basically? And they're trying to say that they want to control or help him get into college, help him with, you know, medical health insurance. He doesn't need to be in a conservatorship for help if in fact there's nothing wrong with him. And if they defrauded him, if they made him think, look, this is an adoption, nothing's wrong with you, please sign these papers, I do think he has a good case. But if he's filed his petition and they have no objection, this should be resolved very quickly.
Is this a conservatorship issue, Brian, or a contract issue? Because it seems to me it becomes a question of, did he know what he was signing?
Yeah, I think it's a contract issue that bleeds into a conservatorship because it's contracted to be a conservatorship. It would be what I think would be called like fraud by inducement, where you get someone to go into a contract by making a misrepresentation or a lie. If he's always under the belief that this is an adoption, where with an adoption it's just like us with our parents, so they don't control. Well, my mom's Jamaican, so she controls my funds sometimes, but parents don't typically control our funds in the way that if we make money as minors or as even adults. But in a conservatorship, you have that extra layer of control, and that's where he's saying he doesn't want. And I've been trying to read this and go through it before this, but along with dismembering or terminating this conservatorship, he also wants them to come to the table, answer some questions, do some accounting, and see how much money they actually owe him.
Would he get money back for this?
Well, he could, and he's asking for millions of dollars. So in fact, if he shows that it was fraud and that he was induced into getting into this conservatorship because they lied about anything and said it was an adoption, then I definitely think he can get some money back.
It's getting so ugly, and I mean, it's disappointing. That was a great movie, and now looking like it might be all a fraud. Brian, Terry, great to see you. Everyone out there, thanks for joining us here on Law&Crime Daily. We're going to see you next time as we discuss justice